Hi children, it's me again. We're going to do some science now. Are you ready for some science? What have we been learning in science? We've been learning all about materials, haven't we? All about materials and objects and what things are made from. Today we're going to learn about this big word you can see on the screen, and it says properties. Properties. What on earth does properties mean? Well, we're going to be learning that today. We are going to learn what that big word properties means today. Okay. And it means what an object is like. What an object, how you would describe an object. Now, I'm sitting in my Luke's room at the moment. I'm sitting at his desk because he's got a nice big desk. And if I look at his desk, he's got lots of things on his desk. It's not very tidy. Now, lots of things he's got on his desk is made from plastic. And he's got a lot of this. Let me show you. What have we got? It's a Lego car. He loves making Lego. And there's lots of Lego on this desk. There's this red one here. And he's got a black one. He's been making lots of Lego. Oh, he's got so many. He's got an orange one. He's got a green one. Now, what is Lego made from, children? What's it made from? Is it made from wood? No, it's not made from wood. Is it made from metal? No, it's not made from metal. So what's it made from? It's made from plastic, isn't it? It's made from plastic. Now, how would you describe plastic? What words would you use to describe plastic? What properties does plastic have? So what's it like? Well, it's hard. Definitely hard. It's not soft. It's hard. It's quite shiny. Some of it's quite shiny, especially the red bit. Is it bendy? No, it's not bendy. So if I don't use bendy, I would use the word stiff. Okay, so it's not bendy, it's stiff. In fact, if I tried to bend it, it would probably snap. So those are words like stiff, shiny, and hard. Those types of words are called properties. Properties of a material, of plastic. Now, I've got another toy here that I found in Luke's drawer. I don't know if you've ever seen or got one of these. And I think it's called a slap band because if I slap it on my wrist, it bends all the way around. Ready? There we go. On my wrist, isn't it? And I think it's called a slap band. Now, what words would you use to describe this slap band? It's definitely bendy. Shall I try and bend it? Definitely bendy. Ooh, and it curls up, doesn't it? There we go. It's bendy. But at the same time, it's quite hard. If I try and squeeze it, it's hard. Is it rough or smooth? Ooh, you feel. Yes, it's smooth. It's definitely smooth. So words to describe our slap band would be smooth, bendy, and hard. So we've just described our slap band. Let's move on. Okay, so we're thinking about what words we can use to describe objects, and we've just done that with the slap band and the Lego, haven't we? So we've just used words to describing words. Another word we can use is soft, and things that you can see on this picture are soft, like cotton. A rubber can be soft. Wool is nice and soft. Fabric is soft. And leather, when you feel leather, it feels soft. So a property of an object might be soft. It's soft. Let's think of another property. A property of an object might be hard. Can you see lots of hard things on this picture? Yeah, diamonds are definitely hard. Bricks are hard and heavy, aren't they? But they're very hard. Ice is hard. There's all sorts of things, all sorts of materials that are hard. Let's think of another one. Ah, that's like my slap band. This is flexible, or we might use the word bendy. Flexible or bendy. Okay, what's flexible? Rubber bands are flexible. Yeah, paper is flexible because you can screw it up into a ball, can't you? We've got a metal wire here. If I use my mouse, if I get my mouse working, here is a metal wire. Wires are bendy, aren't they? So there's some bendy or flexible. We'll use the word flexible things there. Okay, let's move on. Now this is a long word. I wonder if you've ever heard of this word before, and it's called transparent. Transparent. What does transparent mean? Do you know? It basically means that you can see through it. You can see through it. So these things on the screen here are see-through. You can see through them. Some of them might be a bit blurry when you see through it, but it's still see-through. So glass is definitely see-through because you can see through a window, can't you? And you can see a reflection in water. Diamonds are transparent. Ice and plastic, things that you can see through. Okay, let's move on. Right, we're going to be thinking about some special words to do with properties. So we're going to go through each one of these little tiny pictures and answer the question, what words would you use to describe the object? So let's look at the diamond. What word would you use to describe the diamond? Let's have a look at the answer. What word you could use is the word hard. What word could we use to describe a teddy bear? What word comes to mind? Soft. Soft teddy bear. Or we've got a stretchy man. We had a stretchy man in PE, didn't we? About 2 months ago when we had PE, I brought a stretchy man in. And you would use the word stretchy to describe him, wouldn't you? Right, there's a little boy or a girl here. And I think they're trying to break something that's very stiff. It doesn't bend, and so it's stiff. Then we've got a little bug or an insect here. And it's shiny. And we've got the same bug. Is it shiny? What word would we use if it's not shiny? We would use the word dull. How would we describe the word log? Rough. Yeah, if you sit on some logs, they're very rough, aren't they? We've got a stone. So if something's not rough, it would be smooth, a smooth stone. Oh, a spring. Have any of you got one of those? I used to love those springs. It's bendy. A spring is bendy, isn't it? Well done. We've got that picture of that little boy or girl again, haven't we? If something is not bendy, it won't break very easily, will it? Something that's not bendy. Now we've got a picture of a rubber duck in some water. Something can be waterproof. You can put it in water and it doesn't get damaged. So that means it's waterproof. But paper, if you put paper in water, what happens to paper? It goes all soggy. It does, doesn't it? So that is not waterproof. Paper is not waterproof because it gets damaged. Now we've got a sponge. What's special about a sponge? And this is a new word that we're going to learn today called absorbent. And a sponge soaks up the water like this. And it soaks up the water. And when something soaks up the water, it's called absorbent. Absorbent. Now we've got a picture of a raincoat. And you might think a raincoat is waterproof, and it is, isn't it? But a raincoat is also not absorbent. It doesn't absorb the water. The water runs off. It doesn't absorb it. The water runs off. So a raincoat is not absorbent. Now the next picture I can see some hands poking out from behind a purple screen. Can you see through that purple screen? You can't see through it, can you? And we call that opaque. You can't see through it. But on the next picture, there's a screen and you can see through it. Now we can see through it. And we call that transparent, when you can see through something. Transparent. So there are some new words there, children, for you to learn today. Words like transparent and opaque and absorbent. These are describing words that we use to describe materials. Okay, well done. Let's move on. Lots of learning to do today, children. Right, I'm going to show you some objects on the screen. What words can we use to describe this object? What words would you use to describe a spoon? Have a little think. What words would you use? I'm going to come up with some ideas in a minute. Have a little think. What words would you use? I'm thinking of words like shiny, hard, definitely hard, opaque, because you can't see through it. You can see a reflection of yourself, but you can't actually see through it, can you? Is it smooth? Yeah, most spoons are smooth, aren't they? It's stiff. Have you ever tried to bend a spoon? Some spoons are softer than others, and you can try and bend them a little bit. Generally, they're very stiff. And it doesn't absorb water. So if you put your spoon into your milk in your cereal, the milk wouldn't get soaked up into the spoon like a sponge. So it doesn't absorb water. So it's non-absorbent. And it's waterproof, isn't it? Water just drips off, just like a raincoat, it drips off. What is this spoon made from? Do you know? What's this spoon made from? It's made from wood? No, not wood. It's made from glass? No, not glass. It's made from metal. It's made from metal. You knew all along, didn't you? Yes, you did. You're very clever. Okay, now I'm going to play a little game. I'm going to describe to you one of these objects on the screen. Okay, I'm going to describe it, and I want you to try and guess which object I am describing. Okay, are you ready? Okay. This object is hard, very hard. Okay. This object is a little bit shiny. It's not absorbent, so it doesn't soak up the water. It doesn't do that. Okay, do you know what object I'm describing? I'm describing the chair. I'm describing the chair. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do one more. Okay. Let me think. Which one shall I choose? Okay. This object is soft. Okay, it's soft. This object is not waterproof. It's not waterproof. This object soaks up water. What word do we use for when it soaks up water? Can you remember? We use the word absorbent. So this particular object is very, very, very absorbent. It soaks up lots of water. Do you know what it is? You got it. It's the sponge. It's the sponge. It soaks up water, so it's very absorbent. Well done. Okay, children, this is your activity to do today. There are some worksheets for you to do, and I want you to try and do 2. You can do all of them because they're very quick. They shouldn't take you, well, some of them should not take you very long at all. So maybe try 2, and if you've done it really quickly, you can do all 3. Okay, so this is the first one. So you've just got to match up the word with the picture, and then down the bottom, in that box, you've got to draw your favourite toy and write words that describe your toy as to what it feels like. So I don't want to know the colour or the name of your toy. I want to know what it feels like. So things like soft, hard, fluffy. What does it feel like? Okay. If you finish that really quickly, you can move on to the next sheet. And this one, you're just filling in the words from the box down here. You're using the words down there to fill in the sentences. There are some missing words. So the first one says at the top here, a brick is blank. You've got to choose a word from down here. Is it squashy? No, a brick isn't squashy. Is a brick see-through? No. Is a brick hard? So the first one would be hard. And then you can cross that one off because you've done it. Now, if you finish that sheet really, really, really quickly, some of you might, you can go on to the third sheet. And this one is a little bit harder because you've got to write a sentence to describe each of the objects. So you've got to write a sentence to describe a window. How would you describe a window? Let me think. So you might write a sentence like, a window is see-through. Or you might write, a window is hard. You might go to the plastic cup and write about the plastic cup. See if you can use some of those words that we've learned today. Words like opaque, words like transparent, words like absorbent or non-absorbent, some of those big words. See if you can remember to use some of those words too. Okay, so there we go. That's the end of our science lesson today, learning all about properties, which basically means, to keep it simple, it means what an object is like. What's it like? What's the property of that object? Okay, children, so start doing your activity sheets. Try and do 2 of them and have fun. Okay, children. Bye for now, everybody.